The crystal river was silent, and for the first time in memory, it was empty of light. Nibbo hovered just above the surface, his internal glow pulsing rhythmically against the dense, heavy darkness of the water. Beside him, Tiko drifted, his form shifting from a rounded puff to a flat, elongated shape as he pressed himself close to the surface, searching for a single glimmer. They drifted past the reeds, but the water remained a flat, ink-black mirror. Nibbo increased his intensity, casting a sharp golden beam that cut through the gloom, but the riverbed below was nothing but shadows and silt. The familiar shimmer that usually guided their path was completely gone. Tiko curled into a tight coil, nudging a lily pad aside, but there was nothing beneath it but dark, stagnant water. The silence felt heavy, pressing against them from all sides. Nibbo drifted lower, his golden light catching on a ripple near the muddy bank. He tilted his frame, scanning the shoreline for any sign of movement or disturbance. Whatever had caused the river to fade was hidden somewhere in the dark, and they were the only ones there to find it. Nibbo banked left, his golden light catching a series of silver flecks scattered across the damp soil. The trail was faint, a dusting of starlight ground into the mud, leading directly toward the dense wall of the Whispering Woods. He accelerated his glow, intensifying, to illuminate the low-hanging branches that blocked their path. Tiko shifted his form, flattening himself to slide through the tangled roots of an ancient cedar, pulling the air behind him to clear a passage. They moved in sync, Nibbo casting the light, Tiko clearing the way. The deeper they traveled, the more the trees seemed to lean inward, blocking the sky, near a cluster of singing mushrooms that vibrated with a low, rhythmic hum. Tiko drifted toward a jagged thorn bush. He puffed himself into a wide, soft cushion, pressing against the thorns to reveal a small, star-shaped object snagged on a sharp point. Nibbo hovered closer, his light reflecting off the metallic surface. He reached out and tapped it. A clear, bell-like chime echoed through the quiet forest, vibrating through the air and silencing the mushrooms. They had found the second piece of the puzzle, and the trail continued deeper into the dark. A squirrel composed of autumn leaves started between the trees, skidding to a halt before dropping a blank parchment into the dirt. Nibbo hovered over it, his golden light washing across the surface. Faint lines appeared, glowing in response to his proximity. The map revealed a winding path through the brush to the base of the great oak. They followed the shifting ink, pushing through thickets until the massive trunk loomed before them. Its branches twisted into a cage against the night. At the center of a hollowed root system sat a thick glass jar. Inside, a trap pulsating radiance flickered, struggling to break free. Nibbo drifted closer, his light casting long, sharp shadows against the wood. He reached out to grab the lid, but his touch met a cold, unyielding surface. The jar was sealed tight. No mechanism, no latch, only a smooth, unbroken seal. Tiko floated beside him, his form narrowing as he probed the rim for any weakness. The trapped light dimmed and flared, rhythmic and desperate. They stood motionless, the weight of the silence returning to the woods, staring at the only thing between them and the missing river light, Tiko did not hesitate. He stretched his body, thinning his edges until he became a rigid, perfectly shaped key. He slid into the jar's lock with a sharp metallic click. The heavy glass lid popped open, and a swarm of tiny, giggling stars erupted from the interior, spiraling upward like golden sparks. They swirled around the great oak, their movement creating a whirlwind of light. Nibbo realized the stars were not prisoners, but refugees seeking safety. He hovered directly above them, pulsing his warmth. He pushed his light to its absolute limit. A brilliant, blinding, golden beam that surged upward into the canopy, piercing the thick leaves to strike the face of the moon. The impact was immediate. The moon, hidden behind the branches, stirred. It let out a long, slow yawn that caused the entire forest floor to vibrate. It stretched, its silver surface shedding the heavy dust of slumber. As the moon began to glow, its radiance spilled down through the oak branches, pouring into the river below. The dark water caught the light, transforming instantly into a shimmering, liquid mirror. The river was alive again, reflecting the restored brilliance of the sky, and the silence of the woods was replaced by the gentle, rhythmic lapping of glowing water against the bank. The river water settled, its surface calm and illuminated once more. Nibbo and Tiko hovered over the bank, the warmth of their success still lingering in the air. They turned toward the forest edge, ready to depart, but the atmosphere shifted instantly. The vibrant silver glow of the moon was suddenly sliced by a creeping, unnatural darkness. A purple shadow, dense and cold, spilled over the horizon like spilled ink across a pristine page. It did not drift with the wind. It moved with intent, carving a path through the trees, heading directly toward the secret portal. The temperature in the clearing plummeted. Grass blades curled and turned brittle where the purple stain touched them. Nibbo dimmed his golden light, focusing the beam to cut through the unnatural gloom, but the shadow only seemed to absorb the radiance. Tiko pulsed, his form rippling as he sensed the encroaching instability. The portal at the edge of the woods shuddered, its ancient stone frame vibrating with a low, dissonant hum. Nibbo drifted back to Tiko, his light flickering in the wake of the cold. He looked at his partner and whispered, "Ready for the next one?" They held their ground, the silence of the woods now filled with the weight of an impending confrontation.